From the heart of Florida's great Northwest, it's radio. Indeed it is. This is Pat Crawford, hoping you'll stay with us for some music and conversation here aboard our stage studio located in the Museum of Commerce in the historic Pensacola Village. And what a great show we've got tonight. We have a brave audience, came out in the rain, and also probably one of our best looking audiences ever. This is, as I like to say every month, this is an audience that has faces for radio. Love having you here tonight. Thank you so much. Really excited tonight. We've got a couple of artists on tonight that we haven't had on before, which is always fun. And our first artist is a hometown favorite, and I think she has her own fan club with her here tonight. Tanya Gallagher is a native to Pensacola, and she grew up playing music up and down all along the Gulf Coast. In 2013, she moved to British Columbia, to Vancouver for 5 years to play music and pursue a PhD in forestry. She recently returned to the Pensacola area and is currently promoting her fourth upcoming album, One Hand on My Heart, the Other Covering My Eyes, which is set to be released this summer. Tonight she's joined by another area native IBMA award-winning artist, Brandon Bostic. Please welcome Tanya Gallagher.
Good evening. How are y'all? I am so tickled to be here tonight. I have been wanting to play Radio Live. I don't know how long. I've been listening to it since I was little, so I'm just so excited to be here, and I have a couple new songs I'm going to play for you guys. This first one's called Dark Side. Ready?
Tell me, oh, it's just a matter of time. Well, give me something, cause my mind's falling off and got my finger on the button. I'm a sharpshooter, world-class lover. So darling, do not waste my time. With my head full of vigor and my mind on the trigger, waiting to become a winner, time to start a new beginning. And I'm terrified by all these things unknown. He's a wild one, so I've been told, don't stand around waiting for me, cause I'm lost in a world that I cannot even see. It's a tragedy, how my own diseases, I mistake my dreams for my reality. I need a separation like a church and state. I'm lost in a world that I cannot relate. So quiet down, love, I'm off to hide. And if they ask, tell them I'm on the dark side of the moon. Well, they are gonna have to bring me down. Well, they say they want nothing, but nothing. But I know they want nothing more. But then to find me out, tell me, oh, it's just a sign of the times. But just be honest, if it's not something you want, then just try to be a focus. With my head high, I will move on. So darling, do not waste my time. I'm on a one-way track, a westbound train, where my heart's with a man from a Midwest state. And it's a game I always play, and there are rooms where these thoughts should stay. I should lock them up and keep them away, but at night I can hear them calling my name. They say the night's still young, you're getting old. Where's your fountain of youth or your pot of gold? But my soul is crying now, and you know I'm still smiling, and I feel that it's time to hide. So look for me on the dark side of the moon. Well, they are gonna have to bring me down. They say they want nothing, but nothing. But I know they want nothing more. But then to find me out, had a little lady with a baby on the way, and if it wasn't a sin, it was a mistake. Now she's making penance while he plans her escape, and she cries and tries to swallow her tears, and she closes her eyes, but she's still just here. And she says, I gotta get her through this life, and if you need me, I'll be on the dark side of the moon. Well, they are gonna have to bring me down. They say they want nothing, but I know they want nothing more. Oh, no, no, well then they'll find me out.
Thank y'all so much. Well, I appreciate it so much. And over here playing mandolin with me is Brandon Bostic. He's another native to Pensacola. Brandon lives in Nashville right now, where he's played shows with Patty Loveless and all sorts of people. I'm so excited that he drove down to come play here with me tonight. So this next song, we were working on our set list earlier today, and I wasn't actually going to play it, but then I came here and was chatting with Pat, and Pat reminded me that he's a native to Virginia, and I have an album called Virginia, and then I thought about it, and I thought, you know what, this song might be really nice to play, because I actually wrote this song right after the passing of a really good friend of mine and a dear musician, a really great musician here in Pensacola, Dave Shalander. And I was in Vancouver whenever I heard that David passed, and I came back a couple months after, and it just so happened that I had one of his guitars in my bedroom, a really nice Martin, and I picked it up one night and I started playing on it, and about 20 minutes later I had this song written. I like to think Dave just kind of whispered it into my ears. So this one's always for Dave, and it's called Virginia.
In Virginia, my dear, my darling, he don't on me, but in a Norfolk barn he stole my heart. He's the finest man I ever did see. In Raleigh, we were lovers. Richmond, we were friends, and by the time we came down from that Blue Ridge town to Floyd, we were lovers again. We take it slow, we take it slow. Oh, no, Virginia, my friend, I have fallen again. Virginia, you've stolen my heart. Just like the great William and Mary, he's an old soul of knowledge and wealth. His words were few, but I took them as true, as if Jefferson spoke them himself. But no, this isn't the first time repeating my past in hopes it'll last. Well, this time will be different, I'm sure. We take it slow, we take it slow. Oh, no, Virginia, my friend, I have fallen again. Virginia, you've stolen my heart. Take it slow, take it slow. Oh, no, no, Virginia, my friend, I have fallen again. Virginia has stolen my heart. Oh, Virginia, my friend, I have fallen again. Virginia has stolen my heart.
We have just one more for you. As they mentioned earlier, I moved to Vancouver, BC for 5 years, and that was quite a culture shock going from Pensacola, Florida. So whenever I moved up there, there are lots of mountains and lots of snow and all the great things that Canada has that I was not used to. And so my friends, they all snow ski. I don't. But they thought it'd be great fun to teach me. And I don't know how I let them talk me into that, but I did. And so they decided to take me 2/3 of the way up Whistler Mountain, which, mind you, is where the Winter Olympics in 2010 were held. And and after about an hour of trying to teach me and me going only about 30 feet, I could see they were tired. So I said, well, you guys can just go ahead. I think I got it from here. Those were really dumb words. So so my day ended with the search and rescue people tobogganing me down. And I swore again never to ski. But I wrote a song about it. It's called Dolphin in the Snow. See if I get you in tune.
Left my home, said farewell to the beaches and the birds. I headed north and west to a place I'd heard was filled with gold and honey. It's dripping from the trees and the mountains. Look down on the city as she sleeps. I traded my bare feet for a pair of new boots. I didn't realize quite the number this north wind could do to this skin I'm in. It doesn't feel like home, and there's a long way to go to the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, I'm a dolphin in the snow. I don't belong to the winter and cold. I always hide my face when the north wind blows. I am a dolphin in the snow. I see my neighbors when I peer out my window, bundled up in hats and jackets, down there shoveling snow. I am sitting pretty with my cup of tea, dreaming of all the other places I'd rather be. I could go home to Florida in a few few hours' time. Sit on the back porch and cast a line into the bay. I could stay, there is no doubt. They would take me in until I figure it out. Oh, I am an orphan in the snow. I don't belong to the winter and cold all the way. Hide my face when that north wind blows. Hey, oh, I am an orphan in the snow. I know it's quite the tragedy. He said, no, honey, say it ain't so. That's a deal breaker for me. You're a dolphin in the snow. Oh, I am a dolphin in the snow. I don't belong to the winter and cold all the way. Hide my face when that north wind blows. Hey, oh,
very much.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Brandon. They will be back with us in the second half of the program, and the program is Radio Live. Support for the show comes from South Market Restaurant and Bar, with locations in Pace and downtown in Pensacola's historic district, right next to the Museum of Commerce. South Market is open for lunch, dinner, weekend brunch, and before and after Radio Live on the first Thursday of every month. Information is available online at eatsouthmarket.com. All right, my next guest is also new to Radio Live. I met him about a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago, over at the 30A Songwriters Festival, and knew immediately he was someone that we needed to have over here to enjoy our audiences as well. Corby Linker is a creative risk-taker, an award-winning singer, songwriter, author, and filmmaker. Audiences love his enthusiastic approach to performance. A typical Korby set will go from a soft, reflective ballad to a raucous pseudo-gospel song complete with shouted lyrics, hand claps, and a little choreography. He has a half dozen studio albums, including his most recent, critically acclaimed release, Thousand Springs. A book nerd since childhood, Korby's prowess with prose has been duly noted. His collection of short stories, Medium Hero, came out in 2015, garnering critical praise from a wide variety of folks, including National Book Award-winning author Tim O'Brien, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, and Kirkus Reviews. Last year, he turned his efforts towards the small screen, creating a scripted show loosely based on his life as a traveling singer-songwriter. He wrote, produced, and stars in a web series called Morse Code. The Tennessean called it charming and dryly funny, and the Nashville scene gave it a self-produced effort, a coveted critic's pick. Please join me in welcoming Corby Linker.
They all say we won't make it. I don't mind at all. You know me, I can't fake it. If I love you, that's all. If I prove false to you, may the sun fall down into the sea. If I prove false to you, well, that would be the end of me. My my baby. And it's okay if you want to. It's okay to try. Either way, I'm going with you. You know only I can be there. If I prove false to you, may the sun fall down into the sea. Yeah. And if I prove false to you, well, that would be the end of me, my baby, me, sweet baby, me. Oh. Reminds me of the light on the landing on the stairs to your apartment where I pause before I knock. Think I'm lucky, oh, I'm lucky. If I prove false to you, may the sun fall down into the sea. Yeah. And if I prove false to you, well, that will never be my baby.
Thanks a lot, guys. It's cool. It's like we're in a town right now, except the climate is controlled. It's really nice. If you guys haven't been here on the radio, you should come. Yep, my name's Corby Linker, and I live in East Nashville, Tennessee. I've lived there about 10 years. I grew up in a little town in Idaho called Twin Falls. I'm just telling you that. I feel like we should get to know each other a little bit in our short time. I'm just going to play all different kinds of songs, so if you don't like something, first of all, keep it to yourself. And second of all, just, wait 3 minutes. We'll try again. It's bound to be something lines up. Okay, cool. I'm going to play the song. This is like a conversation song, all right, between a mom and her son, and he's about to get married, and for reasons not fully described in the song, I don't know why that's happening. But in any case, he's going to try to talk her into it as the song goes on, so wish him luck. There was a time when I would do a different voice for the different characters in the song. I just found that to be more distracting than helpful. So you guys seem pretty sophisticated. I feel like you'll be able to tell who's who. Okay. Oh, good. Yep, this song is called Her Heart is Like a Rose. Oh, my son, come tell your mother,
Come tell your mother, why must you go and leave me when I love you so? Oh, my mother, it hurts me too. No son loved his mother much as I love you, but still I must say goodbye. My son, you love her more than she loves me. Oh, my mother, why can't you see that her heart is like a rose? Her heart is like a red rose. Her heart is like a red, red rose. Oh, my son, this day would come. I knew this day would come, but still my old heart is all torn apart. Oh, my mother, don't you cry. You gonna love her too, just like I do. And oh, how I do, yeah. Are you sure that she's the one? Oh, I'm sure, sure as I'm your son. 'Cause her heart is like a rose. Her heart is like a red rose. Her heart is like a red, red rose. And her eyes are like a summer sky. But that's not why. Her kiss is like a fire. But that's not why. Her touch is like a bolt of lightning, lighting up the night. But that's not why I love her so. No, 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 no. It's her heart is like a rose. Her heart is like a red rose. Her heart is like a red, red rose. Oh, my son, now I know why you must go. But please take this, it's my own red rose.
Sweet, thanks a lot, guys. Woo! It's funny, man. You put like a bunch of microphones in front of a dude and point some cameras at him. Man, that guy's gonna get theatrical. It really brings that theater part out of you. It's a lot different than playing a Nashville club show. Wow, it's very exciting for me. All right. Okay, let's see here. I gotta. Listen, I'm gonna do this. I play a lot of times like a 2-hour show, and there's a lot of stories involved and stuff like that. And so this is the 15-minute version of a 2-hour show. So you're gonna have to do all the filling in the blanks part yourself this time. If you want to see the 2-hour show, I'm playing another show tomorrow night here in town at a friend's house. And we only have 6 spots left. I'm just telling you that because there's gonna be 6 people who are like, man, I kind of like that kid. So you got to be one of the first 6. Okay, come talk to me at the show break. All right, I wrote this song on this drive from Nashville to Atlanta, and it's about a 4-hour drive, right? That's a pretty good window for trying to write a song, but you can't play guitar and drive. It turns out it's illegal in both Tennessee and Georgia. And so I wrote this song kind of in my head while I was driving along, singing out loud, thinking out loud, that kind of thing. And I've been listening to a lot of old spiritual music lately, these old Smithsonian Folkways recordings. You know, a couple guys drove around the Southland in the 20s and 30s and recorded songs on people's front porches and in their living rooms. And the idea was to try to document these old ancient folk songs before the old timers passed on, you know. And it's a treasure. It's a treasure trove of American music. And I've been listening to that music a lot, and that's It's inspiring to me. That's part one of the story. Part two is I grew up in a little town in Idaho in what you call an evangelical situation. And, you know, I went to college, got it all straightened out. I'm fine. But man, I just love those old songs. I sing those songs. It just takes me right back there, man. Give me those feelings. So I wrote this quasi-spiritual song, not too spiritual, unless you don't listen to the words. If you don't listen to the words, it's like, man, it's like my mom's favorite song that I do, because she doesn't listen to the words of my songs. That's another story. But I'm going to try this out here. I just wrote this real recently, so I haven't recorded it yet. I'm kind of beta testing it on the radio here. Live radio is good for that, right? Good for taking chances? I don't know. Just gonna set the guitar down, do something a cappella like. Okay, here we go. Oh, yes. Oh. Jesus turned the water into wine. Jesus turned the water into wine. Jesus turned the water into wine. He showed his children such a mighty good time. Jesus turned the water into wine. Jesus turned the water into wine. Jesus turned the water into wine. He showed his children such a mighty good time. The wedding, but the junks they empty. About the son of Mary. And oh, what gotta be done, yes. And the governor, so well I never, this is the best wine ever, yes. You can read all about it in the book of John. Jesus turned the water into wine. Jesus turned the water into wine. Jesus turned the water into wine. He showed his children such a mighty good time. Jesus turned the water into wine. Jesus turned the water into wine. Jesus turned the water into wine. He showed his children such a mighty good time. And Peter, going fishing on the river. It was the river on Jordan, yes, deep and wide. But lately, he's coming up empty. But listen to your Lordy, yes. Peter, go cast your net on the other side. Jesus turned the water into wine. Jesus turned the water into wine. Jesus turned the water into wine. He showed his children such a mighty good. Jesus turned the water into wine. Jesus turned the water into wine. Jesus turned the water into wine. He showed his children. He showed his children such a mighty good time. Thanks a lot. Cool. Well, the next set, I'm going to tell you all about this book I wrote, so stay tuned for that. I like a little foreshadowing here. I'll just play this one more song, and the intro for this song is that it's the newest record I made. I've been living in Nashville for like 12 years. It's great, man. I love it. There's real talented people there, all kinds of people. Talented and not talented, the two kinds. They don't always know who they are either, which ones are which. It's fun. But it's an inspiring place to live, and I like it a lot. And I made records that way, the Nashville way, and it's been good to me. But this most recent record, I want to do something different. So I did a Kickstarter-y thing. You know, people do. You guys got nieces and nephews asking you guys for money for their little CD projects. I know that. I did one of those and raised a little bit of money and bought some recording gear and a battery, like they make for like climbing expeditions. This fancy battery. And I had this idea, so I drove from Tennessee back to Idaho where I grew up, and I recorded this record in all these places that were important to me as a kid, like mostly outside, like the edge of the Snake River Canyon, right across from where Evel Knievel tried to jump the canyon in the 70s. Man, people in Twin Falls still talk about that all the time. We're real proud of that. Where else? A little cabin north of Sun Valley. Craters of the Moon National Monument, where they taught the astronauts how to fake the moon landing. My dad's mortuary. All these beautiful places. The idea was to get the landscape onto the tape, you know, to like make the place that was part of me become part of the music. And I think I did a pretty good job. Okay, I'll just say that. Like, just pretend I'm not talking about myself. I just really like this record that I made. And I'm going to play you the first song on it. And this is the one I recorded actually in Craters of the Moon. And I recorded it on a perfect April evening. The campground had only been open for one day, and I had the whole place to myself. I was by myself out there in the Idaho desert under a canopy of stars greater than any number of stars I've ever seen in my life. And maybe you can kind of feel that in this song. This song is called Northern Lights.
Night sky's a chandelier, windshield makes a frame, the radio turned down low, thought I heard your name. Ooh, all the way to Chicago. Ooh, wonder what I find. Ooh, when I'm leaving behind the stars and the northern lights. A shooting star is just a dream, constellations stay. Something in the prairie wind blew our love away. Ooh, all the way to Chicago. Ooh, wonder what will I find. Ooh, when I'm leaving behind the stars and the northern lights. Yeah, the northern lights. You never said goodbye. I guess it slipped your mind. Ooh, all the way to Chicago. Ooh, wonder what will I find. Ooh, when I'm leaving behind the stars and the northern lights. Yeah, the northern lights.
Thank you so much. I'll be back in the second set.
Thank you, Korby. Korby will also be back with us in the second half of the program. You're listening to Radio Live, coming to you live from the Museum of Commerce in the historic Pensacola Village and broadcast on WUWF 88.1 FM. We are listener-supported radio from the University of West Florida. Y'all having a good time? Thank you. Awesome. All right, this next ensemble here, these guys are not strangers to Radio Live. They have been here many, many times. Always a delight to have them back. Jonathan Byrd is a Southern Baptist preacher's son, a Gulf War veteran, and an award-winning songwriter from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, known for literary outsider songs that have become campfire favorites, and he even brought the campfire with him tonight. The Chicago Tribune called Jonathan one of the top 50 songwriters of the past 50 years. The pickup cowboy Johnny Waken cut his teeth on electric guitar opening for the Blues Brothers Band on their Red Hot and Blue tour in 1992. As a part of the theater troupe Paper Hand Puppet Intervention, he contributed to scores winning 4 Indie Awards for Best Original Music. Jonathan and Johnny are musical gunslingers, vaudevillian hucksters, and old-fashioned tent revivalists. They're joined tonight by drummer Austin McCall. Please welcome Jonathan Byrd and the Pickup Cowboy.
Thanks, y'all. Thank you. I was an oak tree. It took 1,000 years to grow. And I've seen kingdoms come and go. I've seen the losers turn to lords and back again. I held the rebels when they hung them from my limbs. When men of fortune cast their futures on the sea, it's when they came for me. I was a slave ship under the standard of the cross, a hallelujah holocaust, and half were dead before we reached the other shore. And the captain never saw the coming storm that swept around the Cape and took us by surprise, and only 8 survived. I was a campfire, a pile of driftwood in the sand, and the only comfort in this land. And 8 hungry sailors roasted acorns that they'd found, and left me burning as they stumbled toward the sound of a church bell ringing out above the ocean wind. And I was born again. I'm an oak tree out along the wild Cape Fear, and there is talk of freedom here. Where is the kingdom that was here before I came? Where have the people gone who only left their names? A revolution's just a circle after all, and every kingdom falls. Now I'm an oak tree. If it takes 1,000 years to grow, I'll see kingdoms come and go. I'll see kingdoms come and go. Thanks, y'all. Thanks so much. My name is Jonathan Byrd, and these are the Pickup Cowboys. Mr. Johnny Waken over here on my right-hand side. Austin McCall on the drums and the bass at the same time. We play a little place called The Kraken just outside of Chapel Hill, North Carolina, every week from 7 to 10 o'clock every Wednesday night. And The Kraken is actually in a little community called White Cross. And White Cross is small enough that there's been some discussion as to whether you might say, I'm in White Cross or I'm at White Cross. Well, I like to say, I'm on White Cross. Like it's a drug, you know? So I wrote this song when I was on White Cross. She drove a farm off from 56. I never seen one do that before. She backed up to the sled and hitched, put in a distance and a little bit more. I met my baby at the tractor pull. I met my baby at the tractor pull. She dropped the hammer on my heart and soul. I met my baby at the tractor pull. feel I can pull steady all night long. I met my baby at the tractor pull. Come on. I met my baby at the tractor pull. She dropped the hammer on my heart and soul. I met my baby at the tractor pull. Ah, ooh. It's how far we got a love that's built to last. Can't nobody compete with her. No, she's the only model in her class. I met my baby at the tractor pull. I met my baby at the tractor pull. She dropped the hammer on my heart and soul. I met my baby at the tractor pull. Come on. I met my baby at the tractor pull. I met my baby at the tractor pull. She dropped the hammer on my heart and soul. I met my baby at the tractor pull. Ah, ooh. Thanks, y'all. That's fun. We got a new record out called Pickup Cowboy, and we have covered a couple songs by an unknown songwriter who's a friend of mine in South Dakota. His name is Matt Faulkner, and this is one of his songs. It's called Lakota Sioux. Summer is changing, fall is in the air. The geese are in migration and you can hear them up there. The prairie's golden brown, yeah, the leaves are falling down. The fawns have lost their spots and the temperature's dropping down. It was a big day, I suppose, when the Indians chased the buffalo. Across the prairie in herds they'd go until the blood began to flow and they went down. But we ain't got no time, no, there waste no time. We got a lot of lives we gotta keep in line. Pretty soon the snow's gonna fly. You don't feed them, your people gonna die. So it was a big day, I suppose, when the Indians chased the buffalo. Across the prairie in herds they'd go till the blood began to flow and they went down. But they like to paint their face, and they like to paint their paints, and they like to decorate everything up and celebrate. And they like to congregate, yeah, in a beautiful place. Dress themselves in feathers and leathers and dream their fates. So it was a big day, I suppose, when the Indians chased the buffalo. Across the prairie in herds they'd go till the blood began to flow and they went down. They take their land away. Hell, they lied and died and lost every battle, but they got their way. Then they took their souls when they took the buffalo. Then they took their families' blankets riddled with the pox. So it was a big day, I suppose, when Custer went in for the clothes and found himself with his pants down as the Indians rode around and took him down. Hey, I said, oh, we ain't got no time, no to waste no time. We got a lot of lives we gotta keep in line. Pretty soon the snow's gonna fly. You don't feed them, your people gonna die. So it was a big day, I suppose, when the Indians chased the buffalo. Across the prairie in herds they'd go, till the blood began to flow, and they went down.
Tanya Wakeman on the electric guitar. That's Judy, ladies and gentlemen. Judy's holding the flag.
Poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake. Bottom of the lake, poor John. Poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake. The boy went fishing and drowned it. I had a girl I loved the best. Bottom of the lake, poor John. Lord knows Johnny could have loved the rest, but the boy went fishing and drowned it. I said, poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake. Bottom of the lake, poor John. Poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake. The boy went fishing and drowned it. I had a bottle of 90 proof. Bottom of the lake, poor John. I'd take one drink, he'd take two, and the boy went fishing and drowned it. I said, poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake. Bottom of the lake, poor John. Poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake. The boy went fishing and drowned it. Johnny was using my good cane pole. Bottom of the lake, poor John. Got so drunk that he couldn't keep a hold, and the boy went fishing and drowned it. I said, poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake. Bottom of the lake, poor John. Poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake. The boy went fishing and drowned. I said, poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake. Bottom of the lake, poor Johnny. Poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake. The boy went fishing and drowned it. Then what happened I never could tell. Bottom of the lake, poor John. He never could handle his liquor well, and the boy went fishing and drowned it. And I said, poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake. Bottom of the lake, poor John. Poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake. The boy went fishing and drowned. Yeah, poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake. Bottom of the lake, poor Johnny. Poor Johnny Johnny at the bottom of the lake. The boy went fishing and drowned it.
Jonathan Byrd and the Pickup Cowboys. Whew. If you're not here, you're missing out. And no audience members were injured in that, I don't believe. Not sure, but they all look like they're still pretty good shape. This is Radio Live, coming to you live from the Museum of Commerce in the historic Pensacola Village. Support for Radio Live comes from South Market Restaurant and Bar, with locations in Pace and downtown Pensacola's historic district, right next to the Museum of Commerce. South Market's open for lunch, dinner, weekend brunch, and before and after Radio Live on the first Thursday of every month. Information is available online at eatsouthmarket.com. Support also comes from the Hilton Pensacola Beach Golf Front, which provides accommodations for the Radio Live artists. All right, just a reminder, all of the artists here have music for sale, so if you like what you're hearing and seeing tonight, you can take them home with you tonight, so to speak. And we have a merchandise table over by the door, and please, before you leave tonight, check it out. The artists themselves will be over there. Be glad to autograph things for you as well. So just something else to do tonight to make it a memorable occasion. All right, joining us once again, Tanya Gallagher, and joining her, Brandon Bostic.
Thank you again. I was enjoying them so much, I forgot I had to come back up here. I've been working on a new album for about 2 years now, and in this little song, whenever I met my producer, met him down in Austin, Texas, and we decided to make this record together. And so I came there, and I brought him 60 songs, and he said, well, that's too many. So we went through 60 songs in 5 days and whittled it down to 12. So this is one of those 12s, and it just happens to be my dad's favorite, so I'm playing it for him tonight. It's called Omaha Stoned.
These thoughts are gonna take me tonight to a Midwest man who's been on my mind, and I'll find my way across the great divide and lay down in your arms. And I've thrown good judgment all aside and swallow my pride and show my colors in a way few have ever seen, but you could not ignore me. But if I say a little bit, would you stay just a little bit more? I'm not the best at words, but I understand these feelings you have for me, and we can take back the things we did before. It's a little bit bold, you're a little bit stoned, I'm a little too forward. Tried to justify all the reasons why this will mess us up, but to me I can see you still holding on to your past. And it's easy when it's late at night to forget her face and instead see mine, but when the morning comes your heart's still in Omaha. And I could say a little bit because I've been there before. Leaving isn't letting go, so I understand these feelings you still have for, and we can take back the things we did before. It's a little bit bold, you're a little bit stoned, I'm a little too forward. Aside and swallow my pride and show my colors, but when the morning comes, your heart's still in Omaha. Heart's still in Omaha. But if I say a little bit, would you stay just a little bit more? It's a game we play 'cause we're too afraid of anything more. And we both play back the things we did before. It's a little bit bold, you're a little bit stoned, I'm a little too forward. It's a little bit bold, you're a little bit stoned, I'm a little too forward.
Thank y'all so much. Really are the kindest and nicest looking audience I've ever seen, I think. Really appreciate you. So this next little tune's, I wrote it as a joke, and now it's gonna be on my next album. So whenever I lived in Vancouver, I mean, I went from Pensacola, where, you know, the houses have yards, and then big streets, and then yards, and I moved to Vancouver where the houses are kind of right on top of one another, and I'd never really lived in an environment like that. So whenever I looked out my window, I could see clear into the neighbor's house, and I just happened to live across the street from an exhibitionist, who was a very fit exhibitionist, I might add. So it could have been worse, but but no. So my roommates at some point, we all are kind of like, wow, this, who is this? Who is this exhibitionist of ours? Lives across the street from us. Ooh, I've messed this up a little bit. But anyhow, at some point, we never knew his name, but I wrote him this song, and let's hope he never hears it. He moved before I did, and an older couple moved in, and they got really nice drapes, so. So all around, a good end to the story. But anyhow, this is for the unknown man in Vancouver who needs to put on some clothes. It's called the Naked Neighbor Song. I have to preface this, because otherwise you just think I'm a really big creep.
There's a man who lives across the street from me. I can see him out my window plain as I can see the trees. I see him walking around naked as he's watching his TV. Hey, my neighbor, I can see you. Do you see me? Well, Heidi-ho there, neighbor, how's the day? Well, I often look outside my window and I wonder what I'd say if I passed you on the street. Would I ask, how do you do? I'm pretty sure that you see me, 'cause I see you. Well, I see you. Well, do you see me too? 'Cause each morning I pull up the shade and you are my view. I see you. Well, how do you do? When I look outside my window, I see you. Well, I see there that my neighbor, you're quite strong. I can't help but notice how you strut around with all the curtains drawn, how you turn on every light at night just to enhance my view. I'm pretty sure that you see me, 'cause I see you. Well, I see you. Well, do you see me too? Well, each morning I pull up the shade and you are my view. I see you. How do you do? When I look outside my window, I see you. Go ahead, Brandon. Well, I see you. Do you see me too? Each morning I pull up the shade and you are my view. I see you. second-story window. Well, there isn't much else there when you're the last house on the corner of an empty avenue. I'm pretty sure that you see me, 'cause I see you. Well, I know you can. I just hope that you enjoy the view, 'cause I do.
Well, thank you very much. Never quite know how that one's gonna get taken. We have just one more song for you, and I just want to say thank you so much for being such a sweet audience. And like I said, it's been a dream of mine for some time to be on this show, so I appreciate it. And everybody at WWF, we really appreciate you. You deserve a big round of applause. And over here to my good friend, Mr. Brandon Bostick. This next song was actually inspired by something that I heard on the radio. I'm an avid NPR listener, and even in Vancouver, I used to tune into WWF and have the NPR One app on my phone, and so I listen a lot to a radio show called RadioLab. Big science nerd. So on RadioLab, they once had a Valentine's Day episode about this bug called the Death Watch beetle. And I was just absolutely fascinated by the story. So the Death Watch beetle, it's born in the wood of old houses, and it hatches, and its whole purpose in life is to procreate. But it's only given about a 3-week window to do so. So it's born, it crystallizes for 15 years, and then it has 3 weeks to go find the love of its life. Sounds like the odds are against it. But anyhow, it's born deaf and blind, and so the way that it finds its love is to tap. So you hear this tapping in the old wood, the wood of old houses, and so you got this really ominous name. They thought it was the devil tapping his fingers, like waiting for souls to come over. But whenever really, it's just this poor little guy trying to find love. So anyhow, I listened to this podcast and I was fascinated, and a couple days later I started writing a song, and then I realized I was writing about a beetle. So it's called the Death Watch beetle. It has a really easy chorus that just goes, ra-dee-dum-bum-bum-bum, ra-dee-dum-bum-bum-bum, ra-dee-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. You guys got it? Can we try it all together? Come on. Ra-dee-dum-bum-bum-bum, ra-dee-dum-bum-bum-bum, ra-dee-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. You guys are beautiful. All right. It's all right. This is for all the Beatles in the room.
Unlike a flower by the roadside, I am a beetle in the wood. I wait for days to hear his drumming in hopes I'm not misunderstood. Well, it's not to say that I won't like you. Well, it's not to say that I won't try. But now I hear the drummer call me, and I hope he is my type, 'cause he says ra-dee-dum-bum-bum-bum, ra-dee-dum-bum-bum-bum, ra-dee-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Beautiful. Ra-dee-dum-bum-bum-bum, ra-dee-dum-bum-bum-bum, ra-dee-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Well, I waited 15 years to break out, to win my way to crystallize. But now I wait to hear my mate come, 'cause his beating drum is my whole life. And he says, ra-dee-dum-bum-bum-bum, ra-dee-dum-bum-bum-bum, ra-dee-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. it's not so easy watching death creeping. If only all these words could speak. But these stories I could tell you of this place, these stories that I can't repeat. 'Cause I'm a flower by the roadside. Well, I'm just a beetle in the frame, hoping that soon I hear his drumming before death comes calling my name. Ra-dee-dum bum bum bum, ra-dee-dum bum bum bum, ra-dee-dum bum 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 bum. Ra-dee-dum bum bum bum, ra-dee-dum bum bum bum, ra-dee-dum bum 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 bum. Ra-dee-dum bum bum bum, ra-dee-dum bum bum bum, ra-dee-dum bum 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 bum. Ra-dee-dum bum bum bum, ra-dee-dum bum bum bum, ra-dee-dum bum 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 bum.
Thank you guys very much, and thanks, Brandon.
Tanya Gallagher and Brian Bostic. Thank you, guys. There are a lot of people who have grown up listening to this show. And those of us who are involved with the show have not changed at all in 30 years. We're exactly the same we've always been. Right. The program is Radio Live, coming to you live from the Museum of Commerce here in the historic Pensacola Village. And the program is made possible in part from our friends at the Pensacola Beach Hilton Gulfront, who provide accommodations for our artists, and we certainly appreciate that. And we appreciate our audience. We also appreciate the folks at South Market Restaurant and Bar, with locations in Pace and downtown in Pensacola's historic district, right next to this Museum of Commerce. South Market's open for lunch, dinner, weekend brunch, and before and after Radio Live on the first Thursday of every month. Information is available online at eatsouthmarket.com. Once again, joining us, Corby Linker.
Hey guys, cool. Thanks a lot. This is my quick show and tell part of the show. I'll do both show and tell. I wrote this book. Picture it, radio people. It's a small paperback, slender enough to almost fit in your pocket, but not quite. It's pink, and it has a picture of a stuffed piranha on the cover. Obviously, that was the right choice. And I wrote this book. It's a collection of short stories about this guy that drives around the country and plays songs for people and makes bad decisions. And there's a long story about how this came to be. I originally self-published it, and it got picked up by a major publisher, and it's changed my life quite a bit. And I am a total book nerd since I was a little kid. One of my earliest childhood memories was being on the road with my family, my parents driving the Ford Escort station wagon there through Alberta on the way to Banff. And my dad was driving, and my mom was riding shotgun, me and my little brother in the back seat, and she's reading aloud to the family while my dad drove, and the book she was reading was Where the Red Fern Grows. Oh my God. And it gets to the part where old Dan and little Ann throw themselves in front of the mountain lion to save the boy. I can't go any farther than that. I know, it's too much for all of us. And oh my gosh, my mom, she kind of starts losing it while she's reading, right? And my first response was, like, being the sensitive 4-year-old that I was like, Mom, God, get it together. We're on a summer vacation. We're trying to have a good time here. She's bringing us down. And she keeps reading, and real quick, I was like, what? Old Dan? I just started bawling in the backseat. I'm super embarrassed. And because I'm like, well, the older brother, you know, I'm supposed to like lead by example here. And so I'm like kind of hiding from my little brother, and for a second, I kind of like see what he's doing. I look over at him, and he's like fixedly staring out the window, facing me away from me as much as possible. And his little shoulders are going. And my dad started bawling. He had to pull over the car. We had a good old family cry. And man, I've been into it ever since then. And that's probably all of that story I'll tell you. But I started writing this collection of short stories about 8 years ago. And at some point, I realized I had 60 of them. And I thought that 20 of them were pretty good. And I also thought the merch table needed another high dollar item. So I self-published the book, and it ended up getting picked up, and it's kind of turned into a whole thing. And so to commemorate that, I wrote a song about it. And the song is called Book Nerd. And I actually wrote this song. I wrote this song for a lady I was trying to impress. I walked into a bar about a couple years ago. I walked into this bar, and I see this girl. She's sitting by herself, and she's reading. And I was like, that's the kind of person I'd like to get to know better. And so I must have been staring at her or something, because she looked up from her book, and we made eye contact, and she scowled. And I was like, whoa, that's hot. Woo! This is my flavor. I don't know. You can't explain these things, you know? So I just wrote the song to try to impress her. It did not work, but I like the song, and I'm gonna play it for you right now. Here we go. It's called Book Nerd, and it's on the new record.
The first time I met you, you told me your opinion of James Joyce. The second time I met you, you're reading a book by Tolstoy. You said happy families are all the same. Thank God mine isn't one of them. And I knew then that we'd be friends. She was a book nerd, she had blonde hair, with the paperback in her back pocket. Wherever she was right there. She was a book nerd. La 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 la. You're like Jean Valjean when you stole my silver candlesticks. You're like Elizabeth Bennet telling Mr. Darcy to stick it. But you almost gave me a heart attack when you told me that Kerouac was whack, and To Kill a Mockingbird is the worst book ever. I mean, how can you even say that? She was a book nerd, she had blonde hair, with a paperback in her back pocket. Wherever she was right there. She was a book nerd, she had blonde hair, with a paperback in her back pocket. Wherever she was right there. She was a book nerd.
Okay. It's just a little song. It's one of those songs where the introduction is twice as long as the actual song. All right, speaking of that, okay, this is the last little bit of biographical information you have to know about me. And if you want to come see the long show, I'm cutting out all the really great songs. There's so many songs I want to play and I can't. Okay, Morse code. It's about trying to communicate, right? We're all trying to communicate with each other, and everyone, it's hard. It's hard to express yourself to somebody in a way that they can understand. I think the world is full of this. And I also think that we're all trying hard to be understood. And there's something about that process that's very difficult for all of us. And that's what the show is about. And this song is called If You Love Somebody.
I can't hear you. I don't know what you haven't said. And it's nights like this, it seems obvious, when we're sharing the same damn bed. And the way the moonlight hits your face almost takes my breath away, as I watch you sleep in these tangled sheets, wondering what it's gonna take. If you love somebody, if you love somebody, if you love somebody, let them know. Yeah. And the words I want, are they all on the tip of your tongue? When you try to speak, Are they buried so deep that they're never gonna come? And you told me with your eyes before, why do I want something more? If you love somebody, if you love somebody, if you love somebody, let them know. Let them know. Yeah. I didn't say I love you just to hear you say it back. I just wanted you to know. I just wanted you to know. If you love somebody, if you love somebody, if you love somebody, let them know. If you love somebody, if you love somebody, if you love somebody, let them know. Let me know. If you love somebody, if you love somebody, if you love somebody.
Thanks so much. All right, this is the Corby Linker theme song. I'm contractually obligated to play this song every time I play a show. Otherwise, I get a strongly worded letter from the Tiny Ukulele Players Association of America. Man, those people are relentless. This song is about being okay with where you're at in life, wherever that is. And this has been so much fun for me to be part of. Thank you guys for having me here and for coming. It's been an awesome honor. I'll be over there after the show. And throwing this one out to Bella tonight. This one's called My Little Life.
Ain't got a steady job, ain't got a smoking girlfriend.
It's not really true anymore.
Ain't got a fancy phone, get my music from the FM. Ain't got a private jet, ain't got a red Corvette. Ain't got a summer home, just me in my apartment all alone. But that's just fine. My little life, my little life, my little life is mine, mine, mine. Don't mind the cherry Coke, I don't mind the country music, I don't mind being broke. The money's just so I can use it. I like the sleeping in, I like the going to the movies. I got a few good friends, we like hanging out and doing nothing much at all. Do 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 do, my little life. Do 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 do, my little life. Do 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 do, my little life is mine, 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 mine. Ooh.
Good job, Korb. Thanks, Korb.
Some days I go to the gym, and some days I go to the bar. A lot more of those. Most days I wake up all alone, but that's just fine. But that's just fine. It really is my little life. Do 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 do. My little life. Do 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 do. My little life is mine. Mine, mine, my little life. Do 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 do. My little life. My little life is mine, 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 mine. It's all mine. That's my part of the gig. Thanks so much, you guys.
Corby Linker. Thank you, Corby. Woo. So y'all still having a good time? All right. Well, they're stoking the campfire over here, so I think we're going to be in for still more treats before the evening is over. Just a reminder, we do Radio Live the first Thursday of every month here at the Museum of Commerce. It's live on the radio. On subsequent Thursday nights, we play the best of previous shows. And it's also a television program that you can see on several different venues. It's on, all that information somewhere here. Oh, it's on Cox Cable, Channel 4 and 1004. It's on Mediacom on Pensacola Beach, Channel 98. Spectrum in North Escambia County, Channel 98. AT&T UVerse, Channel 99. And it's on Monday nights at 6, Tuesday and Sunday nights at 7, and Fridays at 8. So lots of chances to watch the show. If you want to watch it on your own time, we have a YouTube channel, WUWF Radio Live, and you can go and watch any of the programs that we've done in previous months and years at your leisure. So you might want to do that. In the meantime, once again, Jonathan Byrd and the Pickup Cowboys.
He's a pickup cowboy crying up I-35. He went and got his heart broke down in South Padre Island. Now he's driving to Sioux Falls with 2 ball tires. He's a pickup cowboy. He's a lowly roller. He don't need much money, living on buffalo jerky and Tupelo honey and fishing for breakfast. In the muddy Missouri, he's a pickup cowboy. Good dogs get better till they die. Till they die. He's an Indian summer back in South Dakota, sleeping in his teepee and living like a Lakota with his long blonde hair, his long blue yodel. He's a pickup cowboy. Thanks, y'all. Welcome back to the Jonathan Byrd and Pickup Cowboy Show. Again, that's my friend Johnny Waken on the electric guitar over here. Mr. Austin McCall on the drums, and the Coconuts. It takes a big man to play the Coconuts, ladies. It's all lit up like Christmas. There's a skyline of flame. A metal halide lights up the prairie night all the way out to the plains. And out on the low horizon, the sunrise burns my eyes, shining off of the tankers and the flatbeds hauling pipe. We all need the money, babe. I can't lie. Ain't no need to wonder what'll happen when the well runs dry. Well, this whole town's made of trailers, and the train runs 2 miles long. But some guys phone their money home, or they drink until it's gone. Ranch hands learn to roughneck, yeah, they're all lined up to work. Well, there's another boom and there ain't no room, so they sleep out in their trucks. We all need the money, babe. I can't lie. Ain't no need to wonder what'll happen when the well runs dry. Sometimes I feel I'm turning the wheel. Dad took me down to an old ghost town when I was 5 years old, where the miners bled with their dreams in their heads till the river ran out of gold. And I look over miles of burning rigs, God knows how much it's worth. Then the stars go black and the sun comes back, and it's time to go to work. We all need the money, babe. I can't lie. Ain't no need to wonder what'll happen when the well runs dry. Ain't no need to wonder what'll happen when the well runs dry. There ain't no need. Aiken on the electric guitar. Well, thanks so much. I'd like to just recite a little poetry because I can see that you are cultured people. And I have a haiku for the season. This is called Pest Control. Japanese beetle on a wisteria bloom, I send you to hell. Thanks so much, y'all. We have albums, and I got a book of poetry, got T-shirts for sale and all that stuff. But mostly I want you to sign the email list. If you want to know when we're going to be back around, when we're going to be wherever you are, sign the email list and you'll know. Trying to follow us on social media is like just chaos in a wind tunnel of craziness. It's crazy. But if you get sign the email list, I'll send you the email. You get the email. I don't know if you read the email, but you'll get it. And we like that. And we love playing Radio Live, and thanks for having us back again. I don't know how many times this is. It's really wonderful. Yeah. And we'll dedicate this song to y'all. Thanks so much for work. You work hard, and you make things happen. You raise money, and you spend a lot more time raising money than you do actually doing the show. And we appreciate how hard you work on it. This is for you. It's called Do You Dream? Do you dream? And do your dreams come true? What do you see? What do you do to make it happen? Do you dream? Or do your dreams come true? What do you see? What do you do to make it happen? Well, I caught another one. I'll chase one down for you. We're on another ride, a carnival for a few friends, to see things like they should be, and stand up on our could be, and dream, dream. What it was like being a child, not thinking about the hard things, just wide open wild, playing night games in the neighborhood, and playing like grown-ups should, dreaming like there's no way you could these days. But I caught another one. I'll chase one down for you. We're on another ride, a carnival for a few friends, to see things like they should be, and stand up on our could be, and dream, dream. So face the music and cope with the crowd, but stand out somewhere and look at the clouds. A fact of the matter, and fair and square, straightforward and honest. You got to dream like you care. No fair to the Midland, my fair weathered friend. Don't fall between two stools. You're the friend of a friend, a falling head over heels like I did for you. Right over backwards and into the truth. But I called another one. I'll chase one down for you. We're on another ride, a carnival for a few friends to see things like they should be and stand up on our could be and dream dreams. But do you dream? Do your dreams come true? What do you see? What do you do to make it happen? Do you dream? And do your dreams come true? What do you see? What do you do to make it happen? Johnny Waker on the crosscut saw. My name is Jonathan Byrd. Austin McCall on the drums, the pickup Cowboys. Thanks, y'all.
Jonathan Byrd and the Pickup Cowboys. Thanks to all our artists tonight. Thank you for being a great audience. RadioLive is a production of WUWF Public Media at the University of West Florida. Our technical director and broadcast mixmaster is Mr. Deo Regal. Our house sound is engineered by Tom Skinner. Master control this evening is being masterfully controlled by Bob Barrett. Our videographers are Teresa Clark, Corbin McCoy, and Chuck Dunlap. Our video director is Quentin Williams. Our house managers are Trish Allison and Jenny McKeon. Our stage manager is everybody's favorite Jewish mother, Enid Siskin. This is Pat Crawford reminding you to keep your mind on your driving, your heart on the coast, and your dial on public radio. Good night and safe travels, everyone.